Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is KidLee, and welcome to Star Wars: The Old Republic Knights of the Fallen Empire update video number 3. BioWare had a very interesting live stream a few days ago, so I'm going to be recapping everything that was said in that, and we'll be going over a few other things as well. So kicking things off with what was said in the BioWare live stream. They did a bunch of confirmations for us. So we'll start off with companions. And we're basically just going to go through a laundry list of items here. First of all, companions are no longer going to need gear for stats. They are separating the two. If you still want to gear your companions for cosmetic purposes, you want them to look a certain way, you can still do that. Next up on the list is affection level. First of all, they said that if you've spent a lot of money grinding out those affection levels, you're not going to lose that. But it's going to be replaced by a new system that they are calling influence. All companions, this is the next key part here, all companions will be able to be all roles. So, Mako on the Bounty Hunter, she's traditionally a healer or a DPS. She will be able to be a tank, a healer, or a DPS. And again, this is going to go for all companions. And they did this for a couple of different reasons. One, as I'm sure you've probably heard a little bit, in the story for Knights of the Fallen Empire, there's going to be companions that potentially come and go. Companions that you're able to potentially kill. So they really didn't want people to get locked into one companion if they end up leaving as part of the story, or you kill them, or something along those lines. And they are also doing this for the leveling game. So, this is going to be a companion change across the board, 1 to 65. You'll be able to, when leveling, if you need that early healer, that early tank, that early DPS, you're going to have that now. So that is going to be pretty cool as well. We'll jump into what they're calling canon and non-canon companions, and I've sort of mentioned this before. This is how it's going to work. BioWare is recommending that everybody, when they go through this at least the first time, that you just follow the story and you don't really do anything else. So let the companions come to you, and you can just make your decisions based off of that. If there are companions that you do not get in the story, they are going to have a vendor or an NPC of some description where you will be able to go and get the companions that you want. So they're calling those companions the non-story, the non-canon, quote-unquote, companions. So that should be a pretty cool deal. There will be new companions as well. It's been confirmed that Lana Beniko will be a companion for both sides. So that is pretty cool. I'm just sort of looking over my little laundry list here to make sure I'm nailing everything that I wanted to tell you guys about companions, and I think I pretty much have. There was a little bit of a Q&A that was done as well, so I'm going to give you the questions and then the BioWare answers. So there are 5 of these, so let's go through this. First question is, will we be able to meet and or recruit companions that don't belong in our class? And the BioWare answer was yes. Question number 2, what affects the companion's effectiveness in battle? Only our level? What about the presence stat? What about affection? And the BioWare answer is level and presence. Presence does increase damage, healing, output, and total health of your companions. And that's pretty much all they said about that. Number 3, will any and all changes to the companion system be also applied to the 1 to 60 leveling experience? Multiple roles in combat, whatever changes you introduce. And I sort of mentioned this before, but the BioWare answer is yes. Question number 4. Since some companions are not customizable via armor, am I correct to assume that the customization slot will still be there? And the answer is yes. And number 5 is, what will happen to earpieces and implants on companions? Should I remove them before starting Knights of the Fallen Empire? And this is an excellent question, by the way. And the BioWare answer is, the plan right now is they will be mailed to you when they come off your companions or for 4.0. So anything that you might fear to lose, or that you want to simply strip off to get extra money, make sure you do it before 4.0 hits. Let's go over just a few other random things that were talked about and discussed. And for the rest of this video, I am going to put a disclaimer out and say everything is subject to change from this point going forward. And I want to give some credit to a couple of people out there. SWTOR Minor and SWTOR Potato gets credit for some of what I am about to say as far as this information. It has now been confirmed that the unfreezing will happen in Chapter 3. If you haven't heard, our characters get frozen in carbonite. It's also been confirmed that there's going to be a 5-year time jump. So the freezing or unfreezing does not happen until Chapter 3. So that makes me think, okay, so what's Chapter 1 and 2 going to be like? So it'll be interesting to see exactly what that is. Speaking of chapters, they did announce that chapters, that they're going to be doing these chapters in what they call seasons. So chapters 1 through 9 are going to be Season 1, and that's going to be what happens in October. Then chapters 10 plus are not going to happen until after Star Wars Battlefront and after the Star Wars movie. So we're already talking probably January, February of 2016 before we see the rest of the story stuff. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Just going through my notes here. One other thing I'll touch on as far as companions. There are going to be some new companions as well. And I'm not just talking about Lana and some of the other humanoid characters that have been sort of shown. I'm actually talking about non-human companions. It appears that both droid and pet companions are going to be put into the game. There was an interrogation probe and a battle droid, and as far as pets or creature companions, there's actually like a Nexu and a couple of other ones. The only question that I have about that, if that turns out to be true, is, okay, a Nexu. How exactly is a Nexu going to heal me if all companions can do all roles? That's a question. So I guess we'll find out more about that down the road. And then let's go ahead and get into the actual stat changes, because some of you might have seen one of my earlier videos where I actually mentioned that I'm going to have to be redoing all of my Datacron videos. And the main reason for that is because they are changing stats. So primary stats, your aim, your cunning, your willpower, all of those are being removed and replaced by a new stat called Mastery. So everybody's main stat is going to be Mastery and Endurance. Now, some of the other substats are also getting changes. Critical Rating is being rolled into Surge Rating, and then the new stat is just going to be called Critical Rating. And then Surge Rating is no longer going to exist. As far as I know, all of the other substats, like power and so on, all of those are still going to be there. So as you can imagine, they're going to be redoing all the Datacrons. So instead of, getting a Datacron and being, oh, it's so much to aim or whatever, it's going to be so much to Mastery, so much to Endurance. So that is why I'm going to have to redo all of the guides as soon as Knights of the Fallen Empire releases. But I think, again, just let me check over the notes one more time, but I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss with you guys today. That's all of the latest news for Knights of the Fallen Empire. So down below this video, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.